Hello and welcome to a new video about the smart EnOcean gateway. This time we're gonna connect the EnOcean devices to the IBM Watson IoT cloud. So in order to do this, I'm gonna show how to learn in a rocker button. Then obviously we have to make an account at the IBM Watson entry point. Then we have to connect the gateway to the Watson cloud. Then we're going to look whether the devices which are learned in at the local gateway appear in the cloud. And at the end, we're going to make a dashboard where we see our devices appear. So let's start. I am logged in, or not yet. I am logging into the gateway. I have covered some details about the gateway in some other videos. I'm gonna go straight forward to learning in the device. This is because it's gonna take us, I guess, about 15 to 20 minutes to do the whole end-to-end experience. So as you can see, I have pressed a rocker button, which I'm gonna call now rocker IBM. IBM, which will then appear in the cloud. Nothing else to do. We got the 4 buttons. That's a classic device. So first things done, we have a first look at the API, but I'm pretty sure that this device can be seen coming out of the streaming API. I'm gonna cover this API view in another video. So if I'm put on auto scroll, if I'm press the button, then you can see this is the IP representation of the original of the radio, which has been sent out by the rocker button. And as you can see, the button A0 has been pressed and I'm still holding it, which means when I release it, it has been released. This is the real-time information coming out of the gateway, which then goes into the Internet of Things consumer program, which also lives on the gateway. We have, as for now, Node-RED. And now I'm gonna cover the how to get into the Watson IoT platform. As you can see, there's a connector on board, which is at the moment off, which obviously needs some credentials to connect to the cloud. And now we're gonna make an account in order to fill these credentials out, to save it and to get a stable connection from the gateway to the Watson cloud. And then we're gonna see our device, our rocker IBM, appear in the cloud. So let's go. Just click on the logo. This is gonna take you to the starting page of Watson IoT. And it might change over time, but what we want to do is the Watson IoT platform. So this link takes you obviously to the Node-RED, to the IBM starting page. I'm gonna click to the Watson IoT platform, and then it says somewhere try IBM Watson IoT platform. This is what I'm gonna do. So we're gonna make an account in real time, which then should be easy for all of you to do it by yourselves. Free trial, obviously, that's what I'm gonna do. So on this page, so after the third click, I'm arriving at basically the login of Bluemix. There's another way to get there by any chance if the web pages change over time. Just go Bluemix and log in, and it will take you obviously to the same page. It's a little bit different, but you can still easily sign up or log in. So back to the page I've been taken to, pricing plans. I think this is something you have to choose, but that's already kind of a guide which takes you through. If you do it the other way around, you can choose this afterwards, but nonetheless, I'm choosing the free plan, and I sign up to create an IBM account with which I will show the connection. So of course, we have a demonstration at digital. I hope this one has not been taken. Yes, first name. Okay, so now we can fill out the whole details. Obviously, this is my phone number, my password. I'm gonna put in a password which I can remember. Security question is good, is A. and the answer is B, so this should make it, and create the account. So what's happening is, no, I do not want to save the password. The account has been created. What I do not want at the moment, yeah, I have to wait until my registration emails coming in. So let's see. Let's go to here it comes. Let's open the Outlook. And yes, here's the Bluemix team. There's an email. Thank you up for signing up. My trial, 30-day trial is free, and I'm gonna confirm the account, which goes like this. Well, obviously that's pretty good. So now I have already a Bluemix account. I'm logging in into the Bluemix account. Let's see, where does it take us. Now this one is not the right one. Now I'm going for the demonstration at digitalconcepts.eu. I have another password which I entered just before. Okay, here we go. It seems that I'm gonna be logged in the Bluemix platform right now. Fine. So let's see what it says. For those of you who have never been at the Bluemix, it's basically a mix, a starting point for mixing together the applications that IBM provides. I'm gonna show here just a short catalog where you can see all the options, all the okay, before you start using it, you set your environment. As for now, I would go for United Kingdom, and my organization is EnOcean demo, which I can also call the organization demonstration at digital. We call it demonstration at digitalconcepts.eu. Create this one, please. But still, in the back, you can see all of the name your space demo, which obviously it is. All right, I'm ready, set up and running. So here you can see all the applications you can mix together, and you can see I have does not have a space in US South region. No, I don't want to create in the US South region. There seems to be you have to go here and change basically to the region you just logged in, and this makes it work to create an account. So let's see if I can continue. So there are a lot of applications here: Cloud Foundry, containers, virtual servers, mobile, data analytics. You can even book and mix the Watson himself, speech to text, text to speech. Further down is also predictive maintenance, stuff like this. What we need in order to get the entry point for our data coming from the Smart EnOcean gateway is the Internet of Things platform. So I'm gonna book this Internet of Things platform, which you can also quick link here on this side, and it will add this platform to my dashboard. I'm gonna get again on the free part. Obviously, if you have more, you can then have more devices and more gateways, but this is just to show how it works. So now I'm creating the IoT entry point within my account, within my organization. Obviously, you can invite other colleagues, you can make more out of it, but as I said, this is just the starting point to show. So now we have to launch the dashboard. This is now my organization name, 9W4YGR, and I'm now within the Watson platform. I am successfully entered, I'm successfully logged in, and I can see all kind of stuff which comes out of the box, where you just have to look up what it is and play a little bit around, and then you get quite familiar after a short amount of time. So first of all, we go to devices. As you can see, there are no devices in my cloud, obviously, because I just created the account. Remember, now I can switch. I can look on the Smart EnOcean gateway, our local gateway, which has the Watson Cloud connector. it's still off, so I'm gonna put it on first of all. So what I need is 4 credentials, and most of it is we have to create a gateway type of a device for the connection between the local gateway, the local smart EnOcean gateway, you could also see it as an edge device, and the cloud itself. For all the EnOcean devices which are then learned into the gateway, you have to do nothing more. These will be auto-created in the cloud. So first of all, let's start and create a gateway as an entry point for our data. So add a device. I can choose the device type, or I create a device type. As there are no device types, I have to create one. I create a device type and I create a gateway type. Remember, you do not have to create device types in terms of normal devices like a sensor or an actuator. You just create the gateway type, and you just create it once. I would call it Smart EnOcean Gateway. As you can see, I already created some gateway types. Smart EnOcean Gateway, you can leave the description empty. We do not need this. This will be filled out by the gateway itself, and basically that's it. Metadata, create, go further. Now the device is created. So now I want to add a device because it just goes and continues. So now, where just a few seconds ago I had nothing, I have the Smart EnOcean Gateway, and that's exactly what I want to create. So I continue next. Now I need a device ID. This is, we are getting closer, this is now the same thing as the gateway ID here. So remember the organization ID, it will show up later in a summary, but the organization ID is your organization at Watson. The gateway type will be Smart EnOcean Gateway. The gateway ID, now this is the unique name. You need to identify exactly this gateway. If you have another one, you should have another ID. So I'm gonna say it's the EO Gateway 1, because the EO is EnOcean Gateway 1. Fair enough, you can basically give it any name you want. Next, metadata I don't need. You can provide a token here. If you do not provide one, it's gonna be generated. We do not provide, we have the cloud generated for us, and this is the last step now. So basically the new device has been created, and now this is very important because you now have here all the information you need. The point is, it's only gonna be shown once here. If you close this window, then at least the token you won't be able to see it again. So I would say we go to Notepad, we open Notepad, and we kind of copy and paste the information. You can see you could also paste it somewhere else, but this is needed for later. Authentication method token, we can just delete it because it's always token, and as you can see, this is the token. It's correct. All right, so that's it. Now we are almost done, basically almost through. What you see now is a Smart EnOcean Gateway, and it's basically not yet connected. Disconnected, obviously, because we need to enter these credentials in the gateway. So let's start. First of all, the organization ID, that's this one. Next is the device type, which is the gateway type in these fields. Next we have the device ID, which is the gateway ID. And last but not least, we kind of have the token, which authorizes our gateway to connect. So, and if I did everything right, I just press save and apply, and now the gateway starts. The Watson connector gets these credentials, fires up, and connects itself. That was faster than I thought, so I thought I could explain a little bit more, but basically that's it now. We are already connected. You can see we are now connected here, and if I go back to the Watson Cloud, I can see here the gateway is connected, which is pretty good at the moment. So let's see what happens if I make a refresh. And you can see I made a refresh, and after the connection, the Rocker IBM, which I created here in the EnOcean devices, which is called Rocker IBM, was automatically created by the platform itself. If you look at, there are now some details where you can look a little bit on what's happening here. The EOGW1, the EnOcean GW1 gateway, if you click on it, you can see some added by me, and I was connected here and with a secure connection, which is also not bad. And we are connected to the cloud. We have some metadata information. Okay, now we are using our firmware 14 gateway and so on. And at the moment you can see there's one device which is basically attached to the gateway, which is the rocker button. Okay, so let's see what it takes if I go on the rocker button and I press and release. You see now there are the JSON parameters which come out of our API, which arrive here. Press release. You can see, for example, friendly ID gateway states button pressed released. So as you can see, and probably as you can hear, the data is flowing directly from where I am over the air into the gateway, translated into JSON, taken from JSON, consumed, transformed into MQTT, encrypted, sent out to Mr. Watson wherever he lives, and being crunched there, comes back, and I can see it in the browser of the Watson platform. Okay, so last thing we can do is make a nice dashboard out of it. So you have some standard dashboards which are built up as soon as you enter in your account, but I do want my own dashboard, so I create a new board. I call it demonstration. I can also make it my landing page and favorite page, of course. So you can see there's stuff, you can share it, but that's not to our concern right now. And we have the demonstration board. So let's go into the demonstration board. And I have an empty board, obviously, and I will add a new card for the beginning. So as I only have the rocker switch, it's gonna be a value card which just says pressed or released. I'm just thinking I could easily, we do this one, and you could either stop or continue listening, and then I would ask, I would learn in a thermometer maybe. Okay, so we start with the rocker switch. So I'm going into, that's the value I want to ask, want to see, the rocker IBM. I'm connecting a data set. So now let's look on what can we see. So the point here is you have to click on it, and then you see additional all the IDs we are transferring. And I only have pressed, as for now, the button A0, and that's why only the button A0 appears here. So better if you want all of the buttons, it's easier to go like, I won't make it now, but it's fairly easy. You go to the gateway once you're in, once you've learned in, and you make a sync with the cloud. And that at this point, the gateway basically transmits all the information of all the devices and including the whole profiles, which means that you can see here button A0, B0, A1, B, yeah, A1 and B1, so all 4 buttons. So whenever you want the choice of all what the device has to offer, make a sync before, and then you can see everything what the device has. For example, a weather station, which at one point transmits just the temperature and not the humidity and not the wind speed. If you make a sync before, you can get it all. But I want the button A0 value, and that's basically it. I say next. We can have a different size of, and I think also different color, but this is really not really interesting. So now the button is released, and if I press it, you can see almost instant, which is at some point also a little bit scary. So now we've successfully managed to learn in a device into the EnOcean gateway, which was fairly easy. We have then gone to the Watson connector. We enabled the Watson connector. In between, we kind of went through the signing up, the registration. We did everything. We confirmed the email. We logged in at the end. We went into the Internet of Things, which comes in the catalog. We added the Internet of Things application to our dashboard, and then we launched the Internet of Things platform application, which where we are here. We went to the devices. We manually added a gateway type, which is fairly easy, which has these at the end of the day, these four credentials. We entered these credentials in the Watson connector. We connected to the cloud, and then we already saw the rocker. We've seen the JSON messages come in, and we did our one board, one demonstration. And again, if I press, it's pressed and released. I could, if you, just to give you an idea, if we go and learn in another device, which is a temperature sensor. I'm holding one right in my hand. Let's see, I'm issuing a new Telegram. That's another device which we will see then. It's a temperature sensor, humidity, and brightness. So it's device 2. I say okay, it's also a variation, because then we have the temperature, illumination, and humidity. Okay, that's might be interesting now, and that's all I have to do. Now let's see, we go back to the devices here, and as you can see, I didn't do anything here, but the device 2 is already present. So I'm not able to issue a telegram on a thermostat by, I don't know, pressing something, but we will see. First, I'm gonna make a new card. This time it's gonna be a line chart, and this time it's the device 2, and we'll see what data has for us. We'll see we have humidity value, we have illumination value, and we have the temperature value. I'm going for the temperature value because it's a number and the unit is Celsius. Now the temperature, I think it's a float because it has a 2-digit precision. Float unit states temperature value, and I would call it room temperature. Next, make a nice dashboard like this, and then you can also, if you go here, you can also change some settings about the window size. 5 minutes, it's okay. We prefer a large one. Next, and I say my room temperature, submit, which is then okay. We have the device here. Of course, now we have the problem that, as I said, there has been no temperature transmitted. So I'm going to try to increase a little bit the temperature of the device manually, and then it should send out. This is now not so easy, we will see, but as soon as a temperature value comes in, I can maybe hold it outside the window. As soon as a temperature value comes in, then you will see it will go up and down. Basically, we do not have to wait. I have no okay. Trust me, whenever the temperature comes in, then you will see lines appearing here on the dashboard of the IBM Watson Cloud Entry Point, which is, let's go back to our account, which is now as soon as I'm logging in into the IBM Bluemix, in our IoT project, I have the Internet of Things platform, which is basically one out of the many you have seen in the catalog. Okay, that was an end-to-end demonstration within, I think, 25 minutes. Okay, it was a little bit longer on how to learn in devices in the Smart EnOcean Gateway, get it connected to the IBM Watson Cloud, and at the end of the day, see the dashboard, what's happening in the cloud. Okay, thanks, and see you next time.